Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing you the main headline of today's news in the world of Everton. So let's get straight into it. And it's from David Ornstein, and he reported this morning that Everton are in talks with Newcastle United for a potential loan signing of Kieran Trippier, who wants to leave the Northeastern outfit. The news broke this morning through David Ornstein that Everton are in talks with Newcastle over a potential move for Kieran Trippier. Um, this is an interesting one. It kind of came out the blue. Obviously, it comes with surrounding a lot of issues that Everton have at right back and at full back especially. Obviously, we are very light in that position of the pitch. Obviously with the suspension of Ashley Young for this weekend, but also Nathan Patterson coming back to full fitness, and obviously Mason Holgate being the key, the next man in line to take over those two players in terms of right back for the trip to Spurs. So. There's a lot of mixed opinions on this. I'm going to try and dive head first and try and break into that. But the first thing on the one hand, the player has a very close relationship with Sean Dyche. He's worked with him at Burnley, so I think that's one positive maybe of signing Kieran Trippier, that he is very close to the manager. As I said before, he's worked with him at Burnley, but also he stayed in contact after leaving Burnley. Obviously, when Trippier went to Spurs. After leaving Burnley and then on to Atletico, he stayed in contact with Dyche, and he still maintained that very good relationship with Dyche. I think Dyche went on record in an interview saying that Trippier FaceTimed him on the pitch when Atletico Madrid won the league. So that shows that they do still have a very close relationship, and Dyche clearly thinks well of the player, and also Trippier thinks highly of Sean Dyche. So I think that's definitely a positive. And also Dyche has spoke highly on his work ethic. So again, that's definitely a positive. We like players who seem to work hard for the badge. They fight for every ball. So that's definitely something that I think is a right profile of player coming to Everton. He's played at a high level in the last few seasons, hasn't he? Obviously, I mentioned before that they won the league with Atletico Madrid. Obviously, he played at a high level there. He played very well in Madrid for Atletico. Diego Simeone spoke very highly of him in various press conferences there. And then obviously as he moved on to Newcastle, he was the key marquee signing, really, wasn't he, in terms of Newcastle's rebuild from where they were in the Championship to where they are now fighting for Champions League football. He was the first man really to make the step and join Newcastle, when they got all that money. So I think it shows that he does have a good work ethic. He does have a good personality. He can jump into a challenge, and he can maybe when it isn't the most appealing options, he can join a club and maybe bring them out of the depths a little bit, as he showed with Newcastle. So he did tail off a little bit last year for Newcastle in terms of them playing in the Champions League, and he had a little bit of a horror show at Goodison in terms of playing us. Two dodgy back passes, one to Jack Harrison, one to Dwight McNeil, which saw us go 2-0 up. So that was definitely a positive to see for us. And if he could put in passes like that for Everton in an Everton shirt, maybe trying to find Jack Harrison on the right side of the pitch, that'd definitely be positive. But as I said before, he did tail off a little bit in a Newcastle shirt last season. He maybe didn't put in the standard of performances that we'd seen in the season prior and then the season prior to that. So I think that might be a little bit of a negative and shows he is on a slow decline. But he is 34 this year as well, and it does mean that our options at right back would be, largely aging. We've got Seamus Coleman, who's not very young anymore, and then Ashley Young, who's touching on 40 now. So that would mean our right back options would be very limited, and they would be rather old, and it would show that our squad is incredibly aging. But we wanted your opinions on this. We wanted your opinions on the potential signing of Kieran Trippier. Would you be happy with him joining? And of over 2,600 votes on Twitter, 83% of you were actually in favour of Trippier joining the club, with 8% unsure and 9% against. I'd like to say that I'm in the for category here. I'm maybe swaying a little bit more to the unsure category. I think if it was a sensible loan figure in terms of just paying his wages, maybe not having a loan fee, and it was a sensible deal for the club, I think I'd be happy with that. As I said before, and as I said in many different podcasts, we are relatively threadbare in terms of the squad and in terms of quality in the squad and men that can come in, should there be an injury in the top part of the squad depth chart. So I think if it was a sensible one and it was a sensible deal for the club, and we could get maybe a loan deal with an option to buy, or a loan deal with no loan fee, I think that would definitely be positive and would maybe sway me into the in favour category. But at the moment, I'm unsure, just because I saw him tail off a little bit last season. He maybe didn't have the most positive events to the season in a Newcastle shirt, and maybe didn't show the level of quality required to play in the Premier League anymore. I'm not so sure, but We want to get your thoughts in the comments. Are you happy to see this link? Are you happy to see us potentially signing Kieran Trippier? Is it something that you don't want to see, and us signing another aging right back? But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on the Kieran Trippier rumor. But that is all from me today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.